Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to talk about GitLab's huge new play in the world of AI. And trust me, it goes way, way beyond just writing code for you.
But first, let me ask you something. Are your developers using AI tools and just flying through their code? That's awesome, right? But have you noticed that the time it takes to actually ship your software hasn't really changed much? If that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone, and that's the exact problem we're digging into today.
And this leads us to something GitLab is calling the AI paradox. It's this really weird situation where your individual developers are more productive than ever, they're in the zone, but the team as a whole, well, it's hitting new roadblocks. Let's break down what that actually looks like.
So check this out. You've got two sides of the same coin here. On one side, you have that individual flow. Your developer is a coding machine with their AI assistant. Awesome. But on the other side, all that new code creates a massive traffic jam. It all has to get tested, secured, deployed, and trying to coordinate all of that creates this team friction that just grinds everything to a halt. It completely kills the speed you thought you were gaining. So, the big question is, how do you solve this paradox? Well, GitLab's answer is to completely change the game. The idea is to move beyond thinking of AI as a single copilot for a single developer and start thinking of it as an entire AI crew that works with your whole team.
You know, the old way, and this is what most of us are using right now, is this one-to-one model. It's basically a conversation. The developer asks a question, says, hey, I need some code, and the AI assistant gives an answer. It's super useful for sure, but it's totally limited to that single back and forth.
But the new way, well, this is where things get really exciting. We're talking about a many-to-many model. So instead of just one developer talking to one AI, you've got the entire team working together to direct a whole crew of specialized AI agents that can jump in and help across the entire software lifecycle. And that brings us to the big reveal, the GitLab Duo Agent Platform. Now, the most important word here is orchestrator. This isn't just another AI tool you bolt on. Because it's built directly into GitLab, it knows everything. It has the full context of your code, your pipelines, your security scans, and that native integration is what gives it the power to actually do things on its own. Okay, so what is this AI crew actually made of? Let's get into the nitty-gritty and meet the building blocks of these autonomous systems. There are two really important ideas you need to get.
So on the one hand, you have agents. The easiest way to think about agents is that they're your specialists. You got a security agent, a testing agent, a planning agent, and so on. Then you have flows. And flows are basically the project plans that tell all these different agents how to work together to solve a bigger, more complex problem.
And here is a perfect example of how this all works in practice. Let's take something that's a huge pain for everyone, fixing a security vulnerability. So in this flow, a security agent is the first to spot the problem. It then hands it off to a code agent, which actually writes the fix all on its own. That fix then gets passed over to a test agent to make sure it works, and finally, a pipeline agent handles the deployment. Zero human intervention needed for all those routine steps. And it's not just security fixes, right? The potential here is massive. Imagine automatically fixing broken pipelines, or handling those giant, painful dependency upgrades, or even just having an agent research and summarize the status of a project for you. These are the kinds of repetitive, soul-crushing tasks that this AI crew can just take off your team's plate. Okay. A system this powerful obviously needs a different way to pay for it. So let's talk about GitLab's new model, which is all based on consumption. This quote from GitLab just nails the whole idea. It's a complete shift in thinking. The value isn't about checking a box to unlock a feature anymore. The value is in how much real autonomous AI work your team can get done. You're literally paying for results, not just access.
So the currency for all this AI work is something called the GitLab credit. And they're keeping it super simple, which is great. The baseline price is easy to remember. 1 GitLab credit equals $1. This is going to be the foundation for all their usage-based stuff, starting right here with the Duo Agent platform.
Now, how do you actually get these credits? Well, what's cool is that you have a ton of flexibility. First off, if you're a premium or ultimate user, you already get a certain number of credits for free every single month. Nice. For heavier use, you can buy a monthly commitment, which is basically a big pool of credits for the team at a discount. If you happen to go over that, there's always the on-demand option. And finally, there are these things called waivers, which are like a free safety buffer to protect you from surprise bills. And here's a really key thing to remember. Not all AI work costs the same. It's kind of like a car, right? A high-performance engine is going to burn more fuel.
Same idea here. Using a more powerful AI model or asking it to do a really complex multi-step job is going to use up credits faster than a simple single request to a basic model.
And this chart really shows you the value of planning ahead. The standard on-demand price is that baseline dollar per credit. But as you can see, the more you commit to buying up front, the cheaper each individual credit becomes. So you're basically rewarded for planning out your AI usage.
All right, so we've talked tech, we've talked pricing. Let's bring it all home and talk about why any of this actually matters for you and your team. What's the big takeaway here?
At the end of the day, it's about shifting how you think about value. You're paying for outcomes, not just buying licenses for people. This lets you give everyone on your team access to AI without having to ration it. It's a model that can grow with you, and because it's a universal credit, it future-proofs your investment. Plus, you get dashboards to see exactly what you're spending and what you're getting for it.
I absolutely love this analogy from GitLab. Trying to compare AI tools on some price per request basis is totally pointless. It's like trying to compare the price per gallon of regular gas, jet fuel, and rocket fuel. Yeah, they're all fuel, but they power completely different machines. A credit that just finishes a line of code is not the same thing as a credit that autonomously finds, fixes, tests, and deploys a critical security patch.
And that really leaves us with one big final question, doesn't it? If you have this crew of AI agents that can handle all the boring, repetitive, mundane work that slows your team down, what will your people be free to build next? What are the truly innovative, creative problems they'll finally have time to solve? And that is the future GitLab is betting on. Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer.